Rob Cornilles is running for Congress, and that election is this month. Rob Cornilles, welcome back to the Victoria Taft Show. We always ask Suzanne Bonamici, your worthy opponent, to come on, but she always says no.
Oh, well, we'll keep trying, won't we, Victoria?
Well, yeah, I'm sure if she, heaven forbid, wins, I'll never get my phone call returned from her anyway, which is exactly what other people who are moderate and conservatives can expect from a Congresswoman, Suzanne Bonamici. So let's hope not. Let's hope she doesn't win. So you got some news today. What's going on?
Well, we're releasing a new ad that should be airing at least this evening, if not tomorrow morning in some stations. And it's a really good way of letting people know exactly what her voting record is versus my record of creating jobs. She knows how to raise taxes. She knows how to stick it to the middle class and to small businesses. And I know how to create jobs, and I know the kind of environment that's necessary for more people in Oregon to create jobs, and that's what I want to do back in Congress.
So, Rob, let's listen to your new commercial. It's Rob Cornilles, CornillesForCongress.com is where you can send him money. He's going to need it. And sure, why not? I mean, if she were here, I'd say the same thing if anybody was likely to do that, which they probably won't. But here is the commercial.
The job creator or the partisan politician? The Oregonian reports Senator Bonamici has one of the most liberal voting records in Salem. She's voted for 60 tax increases, hurting the middle class and small businesses. Incredibly, Bonamici can't recall ever voting against a tax increase or fee hike. And she has no record of job creation. It's time for a job creator.
We have to focus on bipartisan solutions that create real jobs. I'm Rob Cornilles, and I approve this message.
So some people could say, Rob Cornilles, that you've gone negative. Pointing out somebody's flaws in their record is not negative, is it?
No, it's just informative, isn't it?
Well, for me it is.
Yeah, we're educating the voters on her record. In fact, those weren't statements that I've made. Those are statements coming right out of interviews that she's had with the Oregonian and the Willamette Week. And if your listeners didn't happen to catch those editions of the paper, well, we think they need to know what she has said. She can't ever recall voting against a tax increase in 5 years in Salem. She votes 98% of the time with her own party and 99% of the time when she had a clear majority. So this is more of the same. It's what's gotten us into this mess we have with our economy, and it's the kind of partisanship that is causing deadlock and gridlock in Congress today. And as I say in the ad, we need bipartisan solutions. That means we need people who are willing to get to the table and say, if anyone's got a reasonable idea, without incurring greater debt on this country, without putting Americans through more hardships than we're already experiencing, that will actually drive the economy and encourage and motivate people to create jobs and to invest and take risk again in this country, then I want to talk to that person. I want to work with that person, whoever they are.
Is there anything you're unwilling to compromise on?
Well, I'm sure there are. I'm sure there are a number of things I'm unwilling to compromise on. We look at the debt that we have right now, and we look at the deficit that we've been running 3 straight years in Washington, D.C., and we've run the 3 largest deficits in our country's history. And, people talk about, well, let's just raise taxes on everybody, or let's just raise taxes on even the top 1%. And I'm no apologist for the 1%. They can take care of themselves, but let's just look at some math for a moment. The top 1% is about a $1.5 trillion value. If you took all of their money, taxed them at 100%, that would take care of 1 year's deficit. Then what do we do in year 2? Mm-hmm. It's simply mathematics. And my opponent doesn't want to look at math. All she wants to do is look at partisan politics, and she wants to just regurgitate the same old party lines and talking points, and that's not going to provide any solutions to our country, let alone this state.
Why are they going after your business and your wife and that sort of thing? The Democrats have made a concerted effort to go after your business. Apparently it's just not big enough. It's run out of his house. It wasn't run out of his house. His wife has money. His wife doesn't have money. I mean, just all of a sudden, all this stuff comes out. I mean, all of a sudden, your business isn't big enough when they're the party of going after businesses. I mean, it just amazes me. Why do you think this is?
Yeah, it is amazing, Victoria, and it's the height of hypocrisy. They say that they want to encourage small business growth in this state. And then we have a small business owner from Tualatin running. And what do? They spend nearly $1.5 million within 2 months to try to tear him down. Is this going to encourage other people to get involved? Is this going to encourage other people to try to be entrepreneurial in this state? Obviously not.
Are you going to go just wall to wall with these commercials? I mean, do you have the money to do that? Because that's what it's going to require.
You never have enough money when you're dealing with the Washington insiders that are supporting my opponent. I mean, she has the advantage of all the special interests in Washington, D.C. that are helping her right now because she is bought and sold. She's paid for.
Well, somebody did, Andy from Beaverton did a little Photoshop, and he says, the only thing different about Suzanne Bonamici from David Wu is that she doesn't have a tiger suit, and he put her in one.
Well, as far as voting record and tendencies and ideology, he's right.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and look where it's gotten us. 15 straight years above the national average in unemployment. Terrible rate of foreclosures in our state. Child hunger, poverty, all of these issues that our state is facing now. And I want to point out, I give credit to the people down in Salem in this last legislative session because there was more balance in the legislature. They were forced to come to the table and work out solutions. Not in every case the way we all want, but that's the spirit of compromise. And in this congressional delegation we have in Oregon, we have exactly the opposite. We have this total imbalance. We have 6 Democrats and 1 Republican. And so if people say, Salem didn't accomplish everything, but at least they moved the ball up the field this year, we need that same opportunity in our congressional delegation. When's the last time we had someone who actually created a job representing the 1st District?
Yeah. Hey, let me ask you, were you watching the game yesterday?
I took time away to watch the game with my sons. We had a very enjoyable time.
Was that an amazing game?
Yeah, it was awesome.
I just thought I'd ask you about that. Stop it, Eric. Eric's going, wah, 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 wah. He's not a big Duck fan, but tough toenails. It's an Oregon team for crying out, Eric. Not out loud. Jeez. Well, yes, Rob.
But I would just say, for those, to answer your earlier question, for those who recognize that the people in Washington, D.C., paying in large part for my opponent's campaign, if you recognize they have no interest in Oregon, they have no interest in Oregonians, and you want to fight back, then contributions on our website at Cornilles for Congress will help us air that ad and more, allow us to do more to communicate to voters, especially those who are tired of more of the same and are looking for an alternative.
Okay.
So there's a lot of ways they can help us.
Rob Cornilles, thank you.
Thanks, Victoria.
Good luck. Cornillesforcongress.com. He's the